On today's call, I want to talk about offering and positioning because what's more important is that sure, we have all this market, we have all this audience. You guys all have the ability to make 20K a month right now, like with your current market size. Even Amy can make 20K a month with her current following. Tristan can make 50K a month with his current following. Christian, you can make 100K a month if you really lock the fuck in, like really, like dangerously lock in. And the way that we do that is by understanding how we approach a market. Okay. So has anybody ever heard of the term total addressable market? No. Okay. That's TAM. That is in this book, 100 Million Offers by Alex Hormozi. And it talks about how there's markets. Because have you ever heard of the term that he uses, starving crowd and hot dog stand? No? Okay. When you have an offer is only deemed good, not by the color of it, not by the whistles and the bells and the all done for you. No, that's not a good offer. The definition of a good offer. If you guys understand this, you don't even need to, I don't even need to coach you anymore. You guys can just pay me $50,000 and fuck off. Right? So understand this. A good offer, so it's an addressable market. So that's a total addressable market. A starving crowd that is hungry. And then your solution is a hot dog stand. A hot dog stand can make money selling on the street in Toronto, downtown Toronto, all day. But what happens if they're the only hot dog stand after a baseball game at midnight and everybody is drunk? Right? They're going to sell out and they can charge a lot more because the total addressable market is the people that you can serve minus the competition. So if you become a sales trainer now, the total addressable market is very small because how many sales trainers are there? A lot. Which is why you have to find a niche where the TAM is infinite. There are literally no competition in my offer, in my space, because there is not a single person in the online world, in the online coaching space at least, that is doing call reviews at this scale. So my blue ocean is finding a total addressable market that doesn't have any competition. And then I'm the hot dog stand to a starving crowd that struggles with call reviews and sales management and time spent doing call reviews for their clients and team. So if I'm the only hot dog stand, do you feel like people are going to naturally come to me? Yes. Right. Now, that is total addressable market. That's all you have to know. Okay. Like you use that, you'll make money because now you understand, okay, is there a TAM? Is there a TAM? For example, if I wanted to make my market even niche, like even better, I would target, like if I wanted to be a farmer, like for example, you can either be the guy on the corner of a street or you could be the guy in front of a baseball game that just finished. The total addressable market is determined on where you are, location, age, platform, niche, gender, right? So for example, I can't compete in the women coaching space because I have a penis, right? But Shelby Sapp was one of the first sales coaches. So her TAM was this. And there was a lot of guys doing this, right? If you're 50 years old and you want to sell sales coaching to 50-year-old women, your TAM is like this, right? Or if you're an 80-year-old man looking to retire in hospice, but doesn't want to go the traditional route of senior homes, and you happen to be like a new innovative way to care for elderly people, your TAM is this because they're starving crowd. They don't have an addressable market. They don't have any competition. So you have to find your TAM, right? Because you can only charge based off of what your TAM value is. If there's a bunch of competitors, you can't really charge that much higher unless you have a really good brand, which is hard to do these days because there are so many brands now, okay? So before I move on, this total addressable market, this blue ocean, does that make sense? Starving crowd, does that make sense?
Yeah, that makes sense.
It's very simple stuff, guys. So next thing, this is an offer talk. So I want to talk about offers, but like we have to understand TAM, we have to understand LTV, we have to understand CAC, CAC, we have to understand Basic metrics. So do you guys know what LTV is?
Lifetime value.
Lifetime value of the customer. Now, can someone tell me what the problem is today in coaching?
A lot of coaching offers don't have LTV.
Exactly. They focus on the upfront. They focus on the let me scratch your back, you scratch mine, you pay me 5K that you don't have, and then you're never going to see me again. Why do you guys think? Actually, do you guys know the most profitable, highest LTV industry that there is in the world right now? Give me some names. Tristan's involved in it.
Fitness slash medicine.
Close. Amy? Tristan? You know this, but you're in the industry right now.
Fitness coaching industry. Like,
Pharmaceuticals. Okay. You're doing pharmaceutical, right? And the reason why that industry is so amazing, not amazing like holy, because it's not a holy market. That market is meant to just people. But pharma, what do they do? Do they cure diseases? Do they actually cure stuff, or do they manage expectations, manage symptoms?
It's all a bandage.
If you're taking Adderall, are you curing ADHD, or are you just sedating yourself and then getting addicted to it? LTV, lifetime value of the customer, is basically the value of a customer over the span of a lifetime. So, for example, if you're someone who has AIDS, right, and you have to take medicine every day, if you stop taking medicine, you're dead. So, the LTV of the customer for AIDS people and HIV people and cancer people are infinite, because if they stop taking chemo, what happens? They die. So, the truth is, when it comes to pharmaceuticals and LTV, just understand that LTV comes from providing value to a customer, that if you had left, this is my definition of it. This isn't you will not find this definition online. So listen to what I have to say. My definition of LTV is the feeling of when you have a product that is so good that your customers keep on paying for it because it's like a drug. It's like they're like fiends. They keep coming back because they have no choice. It's not them. It's just they're wired to buy your product again. They're wired to inject themselves again. They're wired to pump another pill, right? They're wired to smoke again. And the way that you know you have true LTV, the way that you make it infinite is if you disappear, if your company and your body and your entire brand and soul and everything disappeared, if your users don't feel like, oh my God, I am naked and I'm going to die. If ChatGPT disappeared, I'm cooked. I am cooked. Sure, there's Gemini, there's Claude, there's whatever, but ChatGPT is one of the best language models. And if it disappears, so does my business, because that's like my drug. So LTV isn't just the definition of like how much money someone pays you, but it's the addiction that someone has to you. Because if you make your users addicts, they will keep on paying. It sounds evil, but if you do it in a good light, where it's like you're actually providing them value, for example, like call reviews. If I'm working with a company that has billable hours and they're paying a sales manager billable hours to review sales reps and be on sales floors, and they're paying like 3 sales managers 6-figure salaries, and then I come in and I basically destroy that role, and my shit is only $5,000 a year or $500 a month, and their sales reps are all making more money, and we're also automating their KPIs, automating their end of days, automating their marketing ad spend, automating basically the entire data collection of their company. Do you feel like they would leave? No. Why? Because they have no choice. Does that make sense? So that's why you see companies these days like dispensaries opening up, heroin and meth being legal in Vancouver, because that industry is so profitable because users keep on using. Taxes, mortgages. What happens if you stop paying your mortgage? You're gone.
Repossession.
Lose your house. You see what I mean? Does that make sense, guys?
Yeah.
This is just very basic business terminologies. And by the way, are you like, before I continue, because I want to talk about how you guys can start making money and start offering people those two things, LTV and TAM. Is that valuable to you guys right now? Do you feel like that's something you needed to hear? Is that something you guys find helpful?
Yeah, I think it's just undervalued. I feel like a lot of people know about it, but they don't actually apply it.
Exactly. Exactly. Now, let's talk about one last business term, okay? That I spent 3 years understanding until now. And the fact that I didn't understand this when I first started, like even when I was a sales manager, guys, I didn't understand this one thing. And it costed me my apartment. It costed me my relationship. It costed me everything because I didn't understand this one thing. And that thing is cash flow. Okay? Cash flow is king. You've probably heard that before. You probably heard some real estate guy say that in a video. But let me explain why it's a king. Because it's not God, but it's king, right? And the reason why it's king is because a king can rule the kingdom. And it's very hard to dethrone a king. Meaning, if you have positive cash flow, you're winning. If you have negative cash flow, you're losing. If you have break even, you're doing okay. But guess what? Do you guys know Amazon, Apple, Facebook? Are they profitable companies? No. Amazon hasn't been profitable in 30 years. They are negative cash flow companies. And the reason why is because they are tech giants and they've raised billions of dollars. So it makes sense. But it's the business that we're talking about, since you guys aren't trying to be the next Bill Gates and start a tech company yet. Maybe, I don't know if you want to. It's a different beast, man. Like I'm in that world right now. But cash flow is something you have to look at, because there's a lot of people who start businesses and there's two mistakes that they do. And you can let me know if this resonates with you, because there are two types of people that look at cash flow. The first type of person is someone who just does the upfront shit, like 5K, there's no LTV, the TAM is all right, like it's okay. And they're not cash flowing because they're spending all their money on marketing, or all their money on apartments, or all their money on cars, and they're not actually retaining anything back. Like they're not actually making money in their bank account. If you ask someone, show me your year to date, or show me your books, show me your balance sheet, people's books are not balanced. They're like this. Like guys online that are flexing all their cars and shit, a lot of them are negative. A lot of them are not profitable. And that's just the reality of business, right? Like when I was helping a client of mine, Property Hustlers, he wasn't profitable for 12 months. He was running ads, spending 30K a month on ads. And it wasn't until he made 100 grand one month, then he became profitable. But it took him like 8 months. So the first type of person is someone who doesn't know cash flow at all, and they don't know how to balance their books, and they don't know how to actually retain money in their bank account after everything is said and done. Okay, because you're also an expense. The food that you buy, the car that you drive, the place that you live, the hookers that you spend money on, like all that stuff is a business expense. And if you're not careful, you'll never be profitable, because you need to save money, right? You need capital. So that's the first type of person who doesn't know cash flow. The second type of person is someone who takes cash flow too literally. And if they're not profitable, they're not going to run the business. In fact, like there are people who like run ads for 1 month and then they're negative for like 2 weeks. And then they're like, fuck this, I don't want to do this. And they quit. Or there are people who start companies and they're not profitable for like 3 months. And they're like, fuck, this is too hard, I'm not going to start anymore. But they're missing out on the margins. If you just increase your margins, decrease your expenses, increase your LTV, your customers paying more than once, bro, that's how you scale a cash flowing business. Does that make sense?
Yeah, and those.
Am I speaking gibberish, or is this actually helpful?
No, that makes sense. It's just black and white, and you're just trying to find that gray area. Like the two inside, and you give up follow shiny object syndrome, and that's that. And you're on the other side where you're not positive, you don't have any capital, you're not cash flowing.
Yeah, making money is already harder than it is. Just like how I tell you, Christian, what do I always tell you about closing? Closing is already hard. You want to stack the deck in your favor. And the way that you stack the deck in your favor in business is by focusing on LTV focusing on total addressable markets, you can charge more and find a starving crowd. A market that is a starving crowd, and you're the only hot dog stand on the street at midnight, everyone's drunk. Third, you want to focus on cash flow, but understand that like you're not going to be cash flowing all the time. And that's normal, like it's healthy in business. Like I was
Unless you
30,
live in Medellin.
bro, Medellin is also expensive. I wouldn't even live there anymore. To spend 2 Gs a month to survive there. It's crazy. So if you don't understand those three things, if you're not stacking the deck in your favor in business, you will never win. If you're only doing one of them or 1 out of 3 or 2 out of 3, you won't win. If you want to win, you do all the three things: total addressable market, LTV, and then focus on cash flow, but not be afraid to go into a little bit of debt. Because I was first month of May, I was $30,000 in debt. Now I'm 20. Now I'm like 11K in debt. After this week, I'm probably going to be in like 6K in debt. Right. So I'm making the money back. Right. It's healthy. It's normal. Money is fake, but you can't be spending like a retard. And the last advice that I have for you guys is spending. Like I'm a maniac when it comes to doing this. Watch. You can ask Edie. Every night when we were in Miami, here's what I would do. I'd call the waiter and be like this. Debit card. Pay for the whole table. Or I would be on sales calls and I'd be like, you know what? No balls. Take my card. Let's do it. Or I'm speaking to vendors. Take my card. But bro, that's not how you sustainably grow. Like, sure, you can make decisions. You can definitely invest in yourself. But if you're not considering your cash flow, sure, money is just fake. It's a facade, but there's also something that's real and scary called interest. And banks are going to fuck you. Like they have all the power to fuck you. Like literally, Amex canceled my card 4 times while I was out there because I was spending money, like $300 on a hookah lounge, and they canceled my card, and I spent like 3 days trying to get it back. And I had no power. I had no leverage. And this is a platinum card. It's unlimited. It's unlimited. There's no limit. And then I have this one is like 5K. This one's 5K. It was maxed out, so I spent like a retard. This one is 9K. I spent it like a retard, maxed it out. I shouldn't be saying retard because this is going to be public, but post this and this thing.
What do you mean, man?
Yeah, so I spent a lot of money. And
It's funny because I went through the same shit as well, man. Stupidly spending. I stopped doing it because I had to. I had no choice. But there was a point in time where I ran up my credit up to 60 bands. Not that I used all the 60 bands, but my credit limit was up to 60.
So another industry that's super popular with LTV and keeping people
Credit history or credit.
Credit. Because bro, they make it so easy and so addicting to run up your credit. Because there's no risk. Listen, the value exchange, the value ladder, the value equation. Also, last lesson, because this is what will make you more money. If you want to make your stories better, if you want to make your offers better, if you want to make your posts better, if you want to make everything better, if you want to make your sales calls better, you will focus on the value equation, which is basically, what book is that?
100 million offers.
Let me just show you the value equation here. I have it. I just want to make sure I can give you a clearer understanding of it. Okay, so it's right here. So the value equation, okay? I'll explain it in depth. Like, I'm not going to go too deep into it. I'm going to just flip my Zoom so you guys can see what I'm doing. But listen, this is the last lesson I want to talk about because I want to get into like actual like offers. Let me just show you. Mirror my video. Okay, you guys can see that, right?
Yeah.
Mirror.
Somewhat.
Okay.
It's like blurry. But
Okay.
I
So
can
look.
see the picture.
Yeah, so look. This book is pretty good. The value equation is 4 entries. 1, 2, 3, 4, and then equals value. So let me explain what value means. Okay. It's an equation. It's a division equation. It's algebra. Okay. If you weren't good at math, this is the only math you need to know. Right? This is the only mathematical equation you need to know to be successful. They should teach this in school. It's dream outcome multiplied by perceived likelihood of achievement. There's no number. Like, there's not like a number you plug in. It's not like a calculator. No. Dream outcome is the dream outcome you're giving your prospect. Lose weight and be able to run around with your kids. Okay. And be able to be with your family and not be a lazy dad. And you can like actually be active and walk your pets and roll around on the grass, right? Times perceived likelihood of achievement, which is like the likelihood that they feel like they can be themselves there. Because a lot of the times losing weight is a very scary feat. But if you make it seem like it's possible, that's perceived likelihood of achievement. So if you have their dream outcome and you multiply it by their perceived likelihood of achievement, you're in utopia. That is, bro. Like you have a dream outcome and then your perceived likelihood of achievement is very high, you're in utopia, right? But you can't always do that because there's always going to be a cost. There's always going to be a risk, right? There's always going to be a caveat. Like if you want to lose weight, you have to put in the work or you have to spend money. So you have the positives here, and here are the negatives. The negatives are time delay. So it's divided by, so dream outcome times perceived likelihood of achievement divided by time delay, which is like how much time it'll take you to do it. 2 months, 2 weeks. Liposuction, 1 day versus losing weight naturally, 2 years. Which one's better? Liposuction, because time delay, it's 1 day. And then effort and sacrifice. Going to the gym for 2 years, sweating, working hard, or laying on a table and waking up with your dream body. So you want to make these numbers extremely low. If you have high time delay and high effort and sacrifice, your thing is no longer valuable. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So it's dream outcome. So it's the positives divided by the negatives, and the negatives are time delay and effort and sacrifice. Let me give you an example. Sales coaching versus the sale.io. Dream outcome. Your sales reps are making money on autopilot. They're self-developing without you having to train them and coach them and micromanage them. That is a business owner's dream. They don't get that. Times perceived likelihood of achievement. It is plug and play. We already have users that are testing it right now. And all you have to do is implement the system and you'll be there. You'll start getting towards that dream. Like it's not that difficult to get to that point because within 7 days, most of the sales reps are ramped up and they're already self-developing and they're basically becoming a sentient AI brain. So this perceived likelihood of achievement is also, it's easy. Easy. Remember that word. Time delay, a 30-minute call with Daniel to unlock the system. Effort and sacrifice, $500 a month. Value. Versus sales coaching. Dream outcome, same dream outcome. Perceived likelihood of achievement, which is like the ability of their sales reps being able to get trained. But it's like traditional sales coaching takes like months and it takes time. So like your perceived likelihood of achievement is based on what the market thinks, not what you think. So a lot of people are going to feel like, yeah, but like sales coaching is slow. So perceived likelihood of achievement is 50% there. Time delay, 1 year to get your whole team like 8 players through traditional sales coaching because you're only getting 1 call a week versus 10 calls a day. Effort and sacrifice, sitting on calls every single week, a bunch of people, paying 10 grand a month for coaching, and having to manually review calls. Which one is more valuable? Obviously, my shit, because I remove time delay, I remove effort and sacrifice. It's cheaper, it's faster, it's easier to use. The perceived likelihood of achievement is there because instead of 1 call review a week, we do 10 a day. So how would you not get there? And it's way better and way smarter and way faster than human training. Dream outcome is the same, so that doesn't change. But if you can affect these factors, you'll do that. Now, who wants me to do a value thing for you guys? Okay,
Yep.
Christian, do you want to tell me what you want to offer? Or do you want me to tell you what you should offer?
It's a good question. I'm building basically a high ticket sales coaching offer, but I want to hear your opinion. Because I was going to relate it towards what I'm doing right now, which is cold
Okay,
calling
would
and helping
your
realtors cold call.
what would your sales coaching offer be? Like traditional sales coaching, like group calls, modules, that's it?
Yeah.
Okay, so just basic consulting.
Yeah.
Okay. Dream outcome, getting better as a sales rep. 3xing your commissions. Perceived likelihood of achievement, it's there. You're there. It's proven. Like, it's not that you can't get there. Like, it's a model that's repeatable. Time delay. Here's this problem. How much time do your people have to spend every single day manually reviewing sales calls, manually joining your coaching calls, manually waiting in line to get questions asked, and manually having to look at modules? So time delay is very high. We're talking about 3 months intensive. Effort and sacrifice, also high, because you're probably going to charge nothing less than 5K. And they also have to show up every single day and take the initiative every single day, get on the group calls every single day, and challenge themselves every single day. Want me to tell you how you can fix this value equation?
Yeah.
Same dream outcome, same perceived likelihood of achievement. Time delay, 0, because they're getting their calls automated through AI. They have Sapita sales training software that's able to review their calls 10 times a day, 24/7 on autopilot. They don't have to manually review calls. They don't have to manually upload calls. It's all done on autopilot. So time delay is just the amount of time that they're spending on sales calls, which they're already doing.
Yeah.
Right? So no time delay. They can get the feedback now. Effort and sacrifice, $500 a month, or whatever, how much you want to charge, $1,000 a month, $500 a month. Repeatable LTV model. Pay as you go. Get better as you go. And they don't need to show up to any calls. They don't have to spend more time. They can just continue doing what they're doing, but get better. Does that make sense?
That makes sense, bro.
So that's what I'm doing with Amy as I'm doing with Tristan. Tristan is going to be a sales coach for fitness trainers. And his TAM, his total addressable market, bro, is this big, bro. Like massive. Like nobody in the sales.
Jeff Nippard, Alex Eubanks. So
Nobody is doing sales training fitness people. Maybe Brian Mark, but his shit is more like branding and shit. And he does do sales training, but Tristan's going to emulate Brian Mark, if anything. But Brian Mark is one hot dog stand in the massive space of fitness. And sure, he might be competing with other sales coaches, but sales coaches aren't just focusing on fitness training. They're focusing on everybody. TAM gets smaller. So Tristan gets a bigger TAM by targeting men who are fitness coaches who want to get better at sales and are already fitness coaches, preferably male within the age of 18 to 30. That TAM is massive. When he turns 50, his TAM is going to get even bigger because he can target.
Right.
Amy is in a market that she's not in the sales space. She's in the female space. I call it female space because there's no such thing as sales space for women. There's no such thing. Like women's space is women's space because there's only a few creators that are women, but a lot of the women are being dominated by coaching, by sales coaching. That's the main offer. So the way that she can be a part of the total addressable market, there's not a lot of competition for one, because a lot of females actually they don't know how to actually train sales. Like they're not good at sales. I'm not going to name them because this video is going to go public, but they don't know how to sell, bro. Seriously, I've seen a monkey close deals better than these females, dude. I met a girl today on a Zoom call. She's a 7-figure closer. And I told her, why don't you become a sales coach? Oh, because no. Girl, the girl that you see online has never closed a deal in her life. And she's training you how to do it. So you can increase your total addressable market by Instead of being a dog water hot dog stand that serves shitty potato chips and like disgusting slop, you can be the luxury burger and hamburger stand that serves milkshakes and fries fresh off the grill, high quality. That's how you also become a different market, by being better, right? Apple has its own market. Android has its own market. They're not in the same market. Sure, they're phone companies, but Apple is Apple. Facebook is Facebook. Amazon is Amazon. They're in lanes of one. So you become the best by being the best, right? So that means same thing for Amy. It's the same offer as Christian. Training sales females how to close better. All reviews. And listen and hear this out. Christian and Amy and Tristan, hear this out. So you want to hear my offer to you guys?
Over.
It's free. You only get paid when I get paid. Sorry, I get paid when you get paid, because if you guys white label the software, I make a commission off of that. Obviously, it's a high level. Oh, it's like a white label, right? You know how that works. So my offer to you guys, my dream outcome for you guys is that you guys make a lot of money in coaching and you impact a lot of lives, like in a holy and authentic way. Perceived likelihood of achievement is there because I've been there before and I know you guys can too. It's just a matter of like you taking action and showing up. It's not really that complicated than that. Time delay for you guys is actually 0 because you don't need to take group coaching calls, because guess what? Your clients can join these calls and I can train your clients for you for free 5 times a week. On top of that, time delay. You're not taking any time coaching on call reviews.
I have a rebuttal on that one.
Wait, hold on. Let me just finish this first. 1 second. You're also not, you don't need to record modules if you don't want to. You can literally white label my software and white label my fulfillment, and you're making money. And then effort and sacrifice is 0 because everybody in here is already doing something that's sacrificing your time, getting on these calls, showing up. And I'm not asking you to do more. I'm asking you to do less. And time delay to get to your dream outcome as well is way less because, again, like the reason why most fitness coaches have a hard time scaling is because they're spending so much time in the business and fulfilling clients, when in reality, they should be just focusing on marketing and closing deals on the front end. And on top of that too, my last thing that I offer you guys too, effort and sacrifice and time delay, you don't also need to take sales calls either. If you don't want to take sales calls, I'll take them for you. I'll be your closer, or I can have someone else on my team be a closer for you. That way you can just focus on being a marketer, because being a marketer is where you need to be in this space. Because if you're a marketer, you make money. That's just how it is. That's just how the world works. The best marketer is the one that makes the most money. It's not the best salespeople. Johnny Mount he's not the best salesperson. He's just a really good marketer. Luke Alexander does know how to close deals. What he is though is a really good marketer. Alex Hormozi wasn't the best salesperson, but he's an amazing marketer. Russell Brunson, also not a salesperson. Marketer. Go high level, marketer. Apple, marketer. Kanye West, marketer. Disney, marketer. Right? It's all marketing. Does that make sense?
100%.
So what was your rebuttal?
If I'm in the female space and I recruit a bunch of chickies and then you train them, they're going to go, bro, this guy's got a dick.
That's not true.
You sold me on a female.
Yeah, but you're not going to make your op like pink and like girly shit. No, you're just a female, so you're going to naturally attract females. But just because I have a penis doesn't mean I can't train them.
I agree with that.
That's just like a whole level of like stereotypical women shit.
So reason why I say that is because I recently saw that Maddie sells, which I know you don't like her. Oh. Can we?
Yeah. Oh, let's go. Go. Let me just like wave. Everybody wave so that I can find it in the editing. Okay, good. Okay, there you go.
Cool. Awesome. So there's 2 chickies that have just teamed up and they're like rolling around on their luggages and doing all this jazz. And They're building this female.
I get it. Yep, I know what you're talking about.
All the chicks that come to them, they're expecting them to train them. I'm assuming.
No, they're not.
Okay.
You can show up to the group coaching calls. Look, if I said you don't need to do group coaching calls. If I was Christian, if I was Tristan, I wouldn't do, like, why the hell would I spend my time training people? Like, when I can just train them for you. But if you want to be, like, if Tristan and Christian want to be involved, fine. They can do one mastermind a month or one group coaching call a week. And it's just Christian. And that way, if people want one-on-one time with Christian or one-on-one time with Tristan, they can charge 10 grand up front and have the LTV be much higher. Same thing with you. If you make yourself unavailable in your program, you're automatically perceived as higher. Cole Gordon mastered LTV because he had a remote sales training program that was 7K. Then he had a sales team accelerator that was 15K. Then he had a 7 FSA that's 20K. And then he had an 8-figure boardroom, which was 35K for 3 months. And my boss paid for every level to get closer to Cole Gordon. What did I do? I paid Johnny Mel 7 grand to start his high ticket program. And then I realized how busy he was. And I realized he wasn't even showing up to the calls anymore. And I was like, fuck this. I need to get in front of this guy. I WhatsApped him and I'm like, yo, how can I pay you to be in front of you for one time a week? 6K. Paid him 2 grand on a payment plan. I didn't end up continuing because I got all the value I needed. And I didn't pay him for the rest. And now he's mad at me. So it's like, that is the life, right? LTV, TAM, cash flow, not spending so much, having a good offer. Because which would, like, think about it. Like, is my offer good? Yes or no? Is it a no-brainer?
It's chef's
A
kiss.
no-brainer.
So when you have a no-brainer, what happens is you create an offer that's so good, you can't say no. That's it. That's it. Like, literally, it's an offer that's so damn good, you can't say no. It seems stupid to say no. That is what a combination of those 5 things, TAM, LTV, cash flow, expenses, and a good offering, when you have all those things together, you're able to give someone something where they're like, I'm an idiot if I don't start right now. I need to think about it, and no, I don't. That's stupid. That is dumb. Like, I'm going to start now. And these days, guys, a lot of offers don't have these things. So it's very easy for you guys to come in here, make an offer so good they can't refuse. That's it. That's today's lesson.
Nice.
Is that helpful?
Very. I think we had to go back to the basics, go back to the principles. Again, it's undervalued. Have a basic understanding of it, but they don't actually fully apply it. Like, it has to be something that has to be engraved in our head every single day. Lifetime value. Am I cash flowing? What's my perceived market? Is their value? Every single day. The moment we lose sight of that, it's not the same.
The cool thing about me is I've never heard of any of this, so I'm extremely
You guys-
grateful.
Christian's like discovering fire right now. It's like discovering like rocks and like fire and yeah, Tristan is bro. Tristan. You guys have Amy and Christian. You guys have some background in the online space. Like, Amy, you've sold online before. You work in like Instagram, bro. Tristan is a butcher. Like, he makes money, but it's like, this is super new to him.
Yeah, last night you told me to record a video, and bro, I have 20 different things on my phone of me just trying to like, I just maybe
Tristan,
the
I'm
same.
not fine.
Okay, hold on.
It's
So-
happening.
Okay, let's talk about that, bro. How are you with the content? If you really sat down and you really thought about it, could you whip up a video like on your phone, just regurgitating what I taught you?
Honestly, like,
Christian-
I'm not gonna beat around the bush. Like, I don't think I'm there yet to where I can off the cuff like how you do it, like how you can actually teach it to the level like you don't have to stop and think, oh, what am I gonna say next? Or am I saying it right? You know your shit.
I agree.
Here's the
Dude,
thing.
you want to know what I did?
Sometimes, hold on, sorry. Sometimes, guys, I don't know what I'm talking about. But there's a theory that states that if you sound confident, people will believe you. Why do you think Hitler is a thing?
Way of speaking.
Hitler was listen, this is probably going to go, I'm not going to post this part, but just hear me out for a second. I'm on a razor edge.
With the hands.
Yeah. I'm on a razor edge right now. Listen, Hitler is a disgusting, evil human being. It's not my job to judge him because only God can judge him, right?
Maybe.
In the eyes of God, we're all created the same. Now, the problem is that people don't understand. Like when Kanye West says that Hitler is influential, he's true, right? If you look at history, the most influential human beings in the world, is it not wrong to say that Hitler was influential? He literally influenced an entire country to kill Jews and be blood bags on the battlefield and just sacrifice their life for the Third Reich.
And more. We got neo-Nazis still.
Exactly. So it's like, when you have such confidence, like if you transcribe Hitler's speeches, some of the stuff he's saying is not true. Some of the stuff is not even like actual factually true. Like, oh, look, the US is trying to kill us, dude, whatever. But because he is grounded like an oak tree, that's how I come up with reframes. That's how I'm able to handle objections, because I'm just speaking and I'm just being confident. Even if it doesn't sound true, I'm not lying. I'm just confident. Tristan, the biggest thing you have to do is just talk to the camera, and instead of trying to be right, I want you to talk to somebody. For example, do you guys remember when you guys were in school, like kindergarten, in like grade 1 or grade 2, and your mom was like, "Hi, what'd you do today?" And then you're like, "Yeah, so we did this, we went on the slide, and then I learned math, and I learned how to do subtraction and division," and then you're just explaining to your mom in such an innocent way, but you don't know what it is, right? You have to have such vulnerability, innocence online, and being okay with not being wrong, because you don't want to be wrong, but I'm just saying you have to be okay with having extreme vulnerability, because if you explain something and you're not stuttering, no one's going to question you, bro. In fact, your target audience will not even know whether it's true or not.
Because
So
it's like Andrew Tate.
Like, I can say Mark Zuckerberg is a lizard because I met Bill Gates and he told me, and I went to a Hollywood mansion like I did, and I spoke in front of people who are billionaires. And there's going to be a certain demographic of people that will believe me if I say that. For example, the US government, there's aliens now. They're in the water. They're flying out of the water. I'm not sure if you guys know that. Right? There's alien life forms flying in and out of the water. They're moving really crazy. They're like fish, but they're above air. And the government says that, and there's going to be a demographic of people that believe it. And there's going to be a demographic of people that says some horse shit. That's propaganda. That's just a distraction from like different shit. So get out of your head, bro. Like, you don't need to know shit perfectly. You just have to sound like you know it.
Beyonce said.
Just like how I explained the theory. Believe me.
No, you're right. I've heard what you're saying
Like,
before.
there's not like a study. There's not like work. There's no statistics on that. It's not a fact. It's just like a theory that I made up just now. And you guys believed me because I was talking and I believed in if I believe in it, you should too. Do you guys think like the disciples of Jesus, like John, Matthew, Mark, Luke, and Peter, do you think they like knew everything Jesus knew? No, they just wrote down what they heard and tried their best to like forge Jesus's word. And there are some contradictions. I don't think there's any contradictions in the Bible because a lot of the things cross-reference. But if you read John, you read Mark, they're saying the same thing in their best way. And they're confident and they write it on paper. Maybe they had 10 drafts. Maybe they had a bunch of different ways to write it, but they got it out. No way. Look who's here. Come.
Hello.
Yeah. So basically, what I would say is, especially when it comes down to certain things, guys, it's all about confidence, and then it's having those 5 things: LTV, TAM, cash flow, expenses, and good offering. And then if I had a 6th finger, confidence.
Sir, there's 3 reels that we could post today just off of this one Zoom call. So let's get after it. Amy, Tristan, let's go. I gotta see on Instagram everybody's posts. You've been crushing it with the posting. You've been consistent, so let's keep it going.
Bro, I didn't yesterday. And I feel like I failed
Oh,
myself.
I didn't either, but it's all right.
Don't worry, I
Post
didn't
today,
either.
I'm
I
gonna
just
be by the
raced.
pool.
All right, then before 8 o'clock this night, I'll check out Instagram. We'll make sure you guys posted. We'll keep each other.
Let's go. Tristan, do I follow you, bro? don't
I
think
just
do.
followed you
Oh.
right now.
Yeah, guys.
Okay.
Every single time you guys post, listen, watch the video till the end, because algorithm. Comment, save, and share it, or just copy the link. Like, press the share button. The link, it counts as 1 share. And if you guys all do that every single time you guys post, we can all grow algorithm. Like, we can all grow off of each other.
Yo, I gotta go back to my day job. So
I'm late to the sales meeting, bro.
Yeah.
You're
Tristan, are you able to? Do you guys have like good steak, like ribeye, like
yeah, I gave you it.
like bulk?
Whatever you want, bro.